Okay, Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Today the basic lecture of ours is actually about the writing tricks. As I already told you that almost all our tenses package that we have already covered are lying there on our Facebook page. Present tense complete, past tense complete and future tense complete. We have already covered it out. So if any student wants to cover the tenses, he or she should go to the home and take an in-depth lecture of the tenses that we have posted there. So they can have a deep understanding about the tenses. Okay, IELTS writing is a very different kind of writing. It's not like the other writing styles. Just like the writing style that we have been following in our metric level, in our FSE level, in our any other kind of academic level, it's not like that. It's entirely different than any other writing style. Why is it entirely different from any other writing style? Because it is purely based on the British style of writing. As I yesterday told you in the speaking guidance, in the speaking test, in the speaking lesson, that there are two kind of words of English language. One is the American accent, the second is the British accent. So American accent is primarily based on what thing? It's based on the contractions. The thing that we often see: shall not go shan't, will not go won't, should not go shouldn't, would not go wouldn't, I will go I'll. Okay? So these kind of contractions are most of the time introduced by the Americans, and their word order about the English language is also different than the British ones, and some of the spellings are also different. Not some, but many of the spellings are also different. The Americans don't like the U. When you will be writing the MS Word, when you will be typing something there, when you will be typing the word with you will write the word behavior, you will write the word color, favor with you, then it will underline it with the red lining. Because according to the American accent, because according to the American style, they don't write these words with you. And there are certain do's and don'ts other than that also that the Americans follow. But we go according to the requirement of the British people, because IELTS is actually the British centric exam and the British people take this exam, and we need to follow all the rules and regulations which the actually British people follow, and they ask us to follow in the writing test. So writing test, as I already told you, is based on two things. One is task 1, the second is task 2. Task 1 is different in general and academic. In general, task 1 is related to some semi-formal, some formal or some casual letter. Formal means purely official, semi-formal means sub-official, and casual means non-official, which you can write to your brother, to your friend, to your sister, to your any loved one, where you need not to be formal. It's non-official letter. And in academic, IELTS academic, task 1 is very much different than the one it is in the IELTS general. Okay, here what happens, the time is same. 20 minutes time will be there for task 1 in general, and 20 minutes time will be there for IELTS time academic. But the thing is, it's actually descriptive test. IELTS academic task 1 is actually descriptive kind of. We need only to describe the things which are written in the form of image, in the form of statistics, in the form of some graph, some pie charts, or any other kind of explanation. We only need to explain it. We need not to do anything else. For example, if there is a chart in which he is showing us the image that in 2010, the cigarette smokers in Pakistan were 1 million. And in 2011 it raised up to 1.5 million. In 2012 it plummeted down. It decreased up to 9.9 million only, 900,000. And in 2013 again its number raised up to 1.5 million, and up till 2015 the maximum number of people who smoked cigarette in Pakistan were to 1.8 million. So this will be the figure which will be given in the form of pie chart, explanation, statistics, any kind of image explanation. You need to understand it. The problem lies in actually understanding the thing. In IELTS writing, the one who understands everything better, he understands everything better, and then he is capable to write the actual thing. Because if one single thing went wrong, it will not make you stand on the same band scoring as it does when you make no mistakes. So you must forget about making any grammatic mistake, any spelling mistake, any syntax mistake, inappropriate usage of the word. One misconception most of the time the students often think that using very healthy vocabulary, very bulky words, very flowery language, filled with idioms, filled with heavy words, vocabulary, diction, and kind of things like that will make the examiner very much impressive. No, it's not like that. Actual point is actually to make the understanding. Even if a 14-year-old child is reading your manuscript, even if 15-year-old child is reading your manuscript, even if a learned scholar of English language is reading your manuscript, he or she will be perfectly capable of understanding what you are actually asking him to understand. What the manuscript is saying, what your writing is appealing to, what is the purpose of your writing. Each and every word of your writing must speak itself. Each and every word of your writing must be very much understandable and clear in the mind of the reader. So, one thing we should keep in mind for the tip of IELTS writing task 1, that we should not force ourselves to use difficult words. Purpose is to use good words. The purpose is not actually forcing ourselves to use these words. Make it clear.
So is the speaker on करना है.
Okay.
ऐसा लाइट जाने लगा. कितना फिर?
Okay. So one simple trick that you should always keep in mind as far as the matter of IELTS writing is concerned is never ever keep this misconception in mind that you have to use strong vocabulary. This is only an ingredient. This is not the whole of the thing. Using good vocabulary, using good idioms is just like adding some spice to your already sweet and tasty food. It's not making that whole of the food will be filled with the whole of spice. It will not become eatable. So one thing is clear, that although good vocab, idiomatic expressions, and these kind of strong interpersonal things are very much necessary in IELTS writing task 1, but these things are not becoming a standard of gaining good bands. Simpler, cohesive, clearly understandable material is always admired. A material which makes a proper, clear understanding, a material which makes a proper, clear narrative building, and a material which makes a proper, legible kind of proper story in the mind of the reader as he is following the words he is reading about. So this is the actual requirement of IELTS reading task 1. How will it happen? It would happen when you have understood the graph, pie chart, whatever the image he has given you, when you have understood both these things perfectly. When you have understood both these things perfectly, only then it is possible that you are attempting every point that he needs you to describe in a letter and spirit. Got it the point? So coming to task 2. Task 2 is a very, very professional and formal task because it is writing an essay. It is writing an essay, and the SOPs, the manuals, and the international English standard protocols which are followed in the whole of the world need to be kept under consideration while you are writing an English essay. Although the number of words are only 250 at least, but in 250 at least you will have to enclose the whole of ocean in one single bowl. You will have to fill the whole of the ocean of the topic in one single small bowl of that. So this is one particular thing that you need to keep under consideration, that while writing English essay, you must know what are the do's and don'ts of English essay. So most of the time the topic of essay which is asked in IELTS task 2 is kind of debatable topic. Some people wish to give their children money in the form of gift. Some people wish to give only gift in the form of some love token. So what do you think? Giving money straight away to the children is good, or giving gift only good? So two topics are there. You need to take one side out of that. That the people who give gift to the children are the better ones. Why they are better ones? You have to give one specific example from your own experience also. It is also a necessary thing. That in IELTS writing essay, they themselves demand that you have to write one personal experience in the form of example. That a friend of mine always gives his son the shop bought gift, not the money, because he wants his son to not spend the money in a bad way. He does not want his son to spend the money in a bad way, and he does not want the son to spend the money in some kind of frugal, non-frugal way. Okay, so these are the things that you need to keep in mind. One example that from your own experience is necessary. Second thing is, what is an essay? An essay is actually to give an attempt. An essay is actually to give a plunge into something. An essay is actually about to sort out the thing, an analysis, a review of the thing which he is asking you to do. So always keep in mind that IELTS writing task 2 should become the basis of your band. He will not check your task 1 on the basis of giving the benchmark to bands. The band will be allocated on the task 2. Essay is everything. If you got 6, 6.5 or 7 bands in essay, most probably you will be able to find the same bands in the task 1 also. So one thing that I told you, as in task 1 also, never use flowery language, never use superfluous language, never use inundated language which is too much filled with heavy vocab, excessive use of idiomatic expressions, excessive use of jargons, slangs, pithy expressions. One thing that always you should keep in mind, whether it is IELTS English essay, CSS English essay, any competitive exam essay, or any kind of writing material, is the basic and ultimate requirement is beautiful usage of grammar, beautiful usage of word, and proper clear understanding. Each and every sentence of yours should be crystal clear. For you, the people who are the beginner, it is an easy thing, because the people who are very much expert in writing English, they come up to the higher level, and knowingly or unknowingly they use very far-flung expressions, very heavy vocabulary. So it's a little bit difficult thing for them to come up to the level of pure primary understanding of English language. But the people like you who are the students, who are the learners, they can make their normal level of writing the better way of writing and then the best way of writing. Because right now your caliber of writing is simpler. You need to make it better in the form of grammar. You need to make it better in the form of choice of the words. You need to make it better in the form of choice of the idiomatic expressions, phrasal expressions, prosaic expressions, syntax level, grammar level, spelling level, diction, thesaurus, all the things which are very much necessary for the use of English language. You need to be very much careful about these. And then by the passage of time you will be learning more and more words, more and more idioms, more and more complex and compound usage of sentences, and some basic things which are very much necessary and requisite for writing an English essay. This was the thing that I told you about writing the structure. This was the thing that I told you writing about the structure. And now about the quality of the content. What have you to write? This is what I told you how to write. Now keep in mind what you have to write. How to make an introduction. How to make body paragraphs. How to make a conclusion. Keep one thing in specific in mind, that the introduction and conclusion should have same gist, should have same essence, should have same summary, should have same idea. Only the wording and sentences should be different. Your introduction, which should be comprising of almost 6, 7 or at most 8 lines, and your conclusion, which should also be based on the same thing, both of the 6 things should be comprising of 6, 7 or 8 lines at most. And ideas, content, structure and the feelings that you are putting in the introduction and conclusion should be the same, only translation, only the syntax, only the structure, the sentences must be different, because it must not come in the domain of repetition. Repetition must not be there. The repetition of ideas, the repetition of words. Yes, one thing is there, that you can use the synonymous words. If you have used the word depiction in first paragraph and you need to use the same kind of word in second paragraph, so now it would be better to use some synonymous word. Depiction is envisionment, scenario. So you can use any of these words rather than same depiction. It will give a very good approach. So here it is like that, using good vocabulary. No need to fill the same one paragraph with same synonymous expression. So the use of good grammar, the use of good synonym and good diction actually here means that variety should be there. If you have used one word in sentence and or even in one paragraph and you require the same word in the next paragraph, so jump to the synonymous word, jump to the idiomatic expression, jump to the phrasaic expression, phrasal word expression. So here is what we call the beautiful use of grammar, vocabulary and thesaurus. These are the two basic things about writing introduction and conclusion. Writing about conclusion and introduction, one thing always keep in mind, that introduction should be based on two things. One thing, what is given in the statement of the essay, what is required in the statement of the essay. What is given, that for example some people give gift to the children, some people give money to the children. This is the statement which is given. Required is what you think is the better way. According to you, which is the better way? Either giving money straight away to the children or giving gift to the children. You have to take one specific single stance in your essay, that I think that giving money is more profitable to the children than giving them gift, because it will give them their own choice. They will be able to buy anything of their choice. They might be feeling shy of asking the parents on their own. But when you will be giving them the money, they can purchase the thing without any hesitation. This is the strong point that you have to mention, and you will have to prove your points with your argumentation in the very 6, 7 or 8 lines of introduction. Okay, this is the first lecture of your writing. In the next lecture we will discuss the further things, some more basic things. Hope you got the basics of that. Thank you.